WSU's Veterinary Teaching Hospital is home to 14 injured raptors. The hospital's Raptor Club and rehabilitation program have provided food and shelter to various birds since its inception in 1981. The goal of this volunteer organization is to educate people on the conservation of non-releasable raptors. Fundraising officer Carmen Haynes says people have a common misconception about the program and its goal.
One of the big misconceptions is that we actually do rehabilitation in the club, which the club itself does not do rehabilitation. Rather, the birds that come to us are already injured and are already unable to be released. They're healed as much as they're going to be healed.
Haynes and Raptor Club Vice President Kristen Rolfe say education is the sole reason the government allows the vet school to keep these birds. She says the federal government prohibits unlicensed handling of raptors, and outside of an organization such as this, people aren't allowed to keep any part of a raptor.
We have permits for all these birds, so we do need approval, and there's organization upon organization that makes sure that any facility like ours that has the birds is doing it correctly and taking care of them correctly, which is great.
Rolfe says all fundraising goes directly to the birds. The Raptor program will hold fundraising events this Mom's Weekend. The majority of the profit from these events will go to adding more stables and expanding the Stauber Raptor facility.
With Mom's Weekend is we actually have big places where there's going to be a high volume of traffic for almost the entire time. So we're going to be at the craft fair. So there's going to be a lot of moms, a lot of people interested, coming by, seeing what the Raptor Club's all about. We're also doing the open house here at the vet school.
Though the club educates students and volunteers on raptor rehabilitation and conservation, club members say their experiences go beyond mere education.
But working with the birds is just a joy, and I love doing it. It's a good stress reliever for me. I come here when I have a bad day, and I get to work with the birds, and it puts a smile on my face every day.
Kristen Rolfe says learning the personalities of each bird is the most important and rewarding experience of being involved with the club.
It comes down to each individual animal I work with. Each individual bird just has its own unique personality and how it reacts and everything. So it's really cool learning about each one because we work through a leveling up system. So even most officers aren't cleared on all the birds yet. So you'll start with like little Everett or little Cassie, who's the American kestrels, and then you learn everything about them and how to handle those birds, and then you get cleared, so then you can start taking that bird out whenever the vet hospital is open, and then you move on to the next bird and the next one. And so each one you learn about, you're like, oh, this one's really cool, and it's totally different than the last couple ones I met, not just because of the species, but their individual personalities, and just knowing that I'm helping out in a way is really rewarding.
Rolfe is proud to carry on the legacy of Eric Stauber, who founded the Raptor Club more than 30 years ago. Reporting from Murrow News 8, I'm Cody Wilson.